It would have broken anyone, and it almost broke me, their betrayal. Should I have expected it? Maybe. Probably. But I think I just never thought they would stab me in the back like they did. After all, they were the only parents I ever knew. I found out they adopted me by painful accident. When I was 14, they were yelling at me for being different, for not falling in line, for failing at math, and for preferring English and literature. And then my mother said in a pained voice, full of regret, I should have taken the other baby. It would have broken anyone, and it almost— Shut up, Bev, my father yelled at my mother from the other end of the kitchen, but the damage was already done. What other baby, Mom? I demanded, all attempts at false humility gone, and she, aggravated by my audacity, fired back, the other baby at the adoption center. The blonde one. She was prettier, but you looked like Ariel did when she was a baby, so I chose you. I wish I had taken the blonde baby, maybe she would have behaved more like Ariel than you ever did. The rest of it tumbled out in frustrated sobs. I was adopted after their daughter, Ariel, died. A car accident. She was 8. Dark-haired, dark-eyed, a math prodigy, quiet and gentle. The opposite of me. They had no love for me, imagine knowing that at age 14. Knowing without a doubt that I was not even wanted. But I still stayed. I still cared for them as they aged. I paid off their mortgage when they were drowning in bills, I bought groceries, I paid for subscriptions. Then came the will. Everything. Everything went to Ari. Yes, they named him for Ariel. Ari, their miracle baby. Born 3 years after they gave up trying to shape me into someone I wasn't. Their true child. He was charming, sure. And obedient. But he lived like a fog in a field, totally without imagination, without ambition, without umph. No risks and no rewards. He grew up knowing my story, and he sided with his parents, entitled, believing himself to be the beloved child. By the time he was grown, I had long moved out, and whenever I came visiting I saw the look he gave me, begrudging me even the room I grew up in and the food I ate. While they at least tried to be civil now that I was helping out financially despite the disappointment he had no inhibitions in his dislike. They left me nothing. Not even my mother's piano, though they knew I loved it because as a child, I used to pretend to be a Regency heroine while strumming tunelessly on it. I didn't go to the lawyer's office. They sent a copy. I read it sitting on the floor of my apartment with a glass of wine and a hollow chest. Ari burned through the inheritance in under a year. Sold the house. Failed at a startup. Invested in some cockamamie scheme someone mentioned to him at a bar. Then he came knocking at my door with his empty hands and that familiar look in his eyes. I need money, he said, shrugging like he hadn't just lit our parents' legacy on fire. And even as he said it, he could not hide his disregard for me, he could not muster any brotherly warmth for me. I was just the person who used to help his parents out, and now that he was in a bind, he came to be helped out as well. I laughed. I couldn't help it. Because I didn't need him like he needed me. He had long broken ties with me. He had not offered me any part of the inheritance, and like his parents, he did not care for my career. But I had built a little empire of my own. 2 million subscribers, a clothing line, digital art collabs, and a digital writing course that sold out in hours. I owned my apartment. I'd bought my studio outright. I was wealthy, and now, with nothing weighing me to the past, I was free. Sometimes betrayal is a gift in ugly wrapping paper. It forces you to see clearly. They didn't break me. They just cracked the shell I had been trying so hard to fit into and set me free.